Bandland Records presents live from the Beamsville International Hotel and Ballroom. Well, almost live. Somewhat live, semi-live, semi-somewhat live. From the Beamsville International Hotel and Ballroom, you're in the lounge. Now your host. Hey guys, how are you all doing this morning? Well, actually, it could be afternoon. Depends on when we're being broadcast. Could be an evening. But for me, it's morning, so hence the semi-somewhat live. So I hope everybody's having a good day. Well, you know what? I don't want to complain, but you know, there's a lot hotter spots in the world, and you know, we've just been cooking here, though. We're just not used to this. You know, I'm in southern Canada here, and temperatures this past week have gotten up to almost 3 degrees. No, I'm kidding. They're a lot hotter than that. And as I said, there's a lot hotter spots in the world. But, you know, we've been up in the early 30s, so we're getting a humidex into the late 30s, early 40s. So for us, this is fairly hot weather. And, you know what? It's been so hot, you know, a couple of times I've been, you know, tempted to strip right down to the hat. That's not true. I keep the glasses on, too, or I can't see a damn thing. No, actually, no, it hasn't been that bad. It's kind of, some days good, some days bad. You know, I got back from my holidays up north. I was telling you guys last week that I was heading up. We went up, and it was fairly nice weather. We did have rain one day, but we were able to get out, do some swimming, do some kayaking, a little mountain biking. So it was a good time all around. You know, I was feeding chipmunks and, you know, and which was really causing the squirrels a lot of grief. So I was, you know, unwittingly causing some feuding, but all's good. All's good. Yeah, we're having a good time. Anyway, I'd like to say we've got a guest this week. And our guest will be the very talented Cassandra Grable, a singer, songwriter, guitarist, and artist from Florida State in the U.S. And actually, if you'd like to check out some of her artwork, you can check it out on Facebook at the page of Dark Girl Drawings. I think if you check that out, you're really going to enjoy what you see. From what I understand, prints are available. So, you know, you might see something you like, and you might want to have a little piece of that for your own self. And just a reminder, too, the Girls of Bandland Records calendar is now available for pre-sale on bandlandrecords.net. Beautiful girls and guitars. If that's your thing, I think you're going to want to check it out. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break for a couple of messages, and we'll be right back with Cassandra Grable. Okay, guys, welcome back to the lounge. I've got my special guest star here today, Cassandra Grable, who's joining me here in the lounge. How you doing, Cassandra?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Have a pretty good day so far?
Yeah, I'm really glad to be here in the lounge and hang out with you and talk about the music.
Okay. Well, I'd like to ask everybody in the first row to sit down a little lower so everybody can see. Okay. Like anyone can see us. Okay. But anyhow, so I've understand we're gonna look at some of the music that you've written and are performing as an independent artist. What kind of, how would you describe your style?
I've been asked this question quite many times, and it's kind of a struggle for me to come up with a name for it. But it's kind of just an acoustic pop rock, I guess, would be really the category it falls into.
Okay, excellent.
And, yeah.
Into the acoustic, are there particular artists that you grew up really admiring that geared you towards this style, or perhaps they didn't influence your style, but you really enjoyed them?
Yeah, as far as influences for the style, I really did have a lot of influences. For my vocal style was influenced quite a bit by Christina Aguilera. I grew up listening to a lot of Christina Aguilera, and because I was a '90s baby, so that was the most powerful voice on the radio.
I hear you.
Yeah, and as for the acoustic and being an acoustic female musician, I really had and drew a lot of inspiration from Michelle Branch and her music and her style.
Right on. How long you been playing now?
I've been playing just under 4 years now, so I mean pretty steadily. I dabbled in it a little bit for a little bit longer than that, but just a solid good 4 years. I feel like I've got a bit more to advance. I feel like I'm always growing with it. With the acoustic, but I mean, I love it. It's my favorite instrument.
Well, that's it. I think with anything, it's the minute you stop trying to learn, you get a little stagnant. There's, everybody I think can improve. Well, I don't know about Eric Clapton. He's probably set right where he is, but he might tell you different. I don't know, but but. But anyway, well, how did you get started playing?
Well, when I was about 9 years old, all my life my dad was a guitar player, more of an electric guitar player, but when I was about 9 years old, he decided to say, hey, let's form a band, just with his kids for fun, and we would play.
Family.
Yeah, it was.
And there's people out there young that are going, who the hell is he talking about? But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it was pretty fun at a young age, and he had a couple acoustics, and he let me fiddle with them, and it just kind of felt right, so.
Well, that's cool. And that, well, as an independent artist, do you do studio work, or do you do all your recording at home?
As of right now, it's all been at home recording, and I enjoy the studio recording sound and everything, but I kind of prefer the at-home sound. I really do. I kind of prefer that. It gives more of like a live feeling of being there with the artist.
Yeah, that's what I've appreciated too, because like I've always liked the garage band sound. Like if I could talk, I'd be dangerous. But anyway, yeah, the garage band sound. I like music at its raw moments. Like you say, the studio. Studio's excellent. What can you say? But yeah, when you get that little bit more intimate feel with the artist and stuff, I think it adds to the experience a lot. So like if you were say I was interested in becoming, like I was a guitarist songwriter that was interested in recording some of my own material at home. What kind of advice would you give as far as like equipment? What kind of equipment do you use? Do you just?
I started off using nothing more than a really inexpensive digital camera and a cheap recording program. But as time progressed and I wanted to really progress the quality of my home recordings, I ended up inheriting a Yamaha interface and a Shure microphone, and I kind of I have my acoustic electric and plug in and go with it.
Oh, that's right on. Yeah, I bought a Shure microphone not too long ago myself and really enjoy it. Well, let's without further ado let the audience hear one of your tracks. The first track you've brought for us today, would you like to tell us something about it?
Yeah, it's honestly, I think, one of my more favorite songs out of all the songs that I've written. I wrote it about kind of being in a struggling place in your life, and the song is called "Carried Away." And some of you may have seen it on my Facebook and stuff online, or on my YouTube. But for those of you who haven't, it is a very it's a very emotionally trying time, sort of feeling to the lyrics, and it really, I had a struggle going on in my life at the time, and so I got through it by expressing it through music.
And what good therapy writing is for people who aren't into songwriting. It's a good way of getting things off your chest and expressing yourself and stuff like that. Well, let's take a listen, why don't we? Here's Carried Away.
On the edge, staring my fate in the face, broken hearted, teary eyed. I wish I could learn how to fly. You hurt me, you broke my trust. Inch by inch I get closer, losing faith, is this over? Can we get carried away for the sake of love, for the sake of us? Things I said, things I did, wish I could take them all back. Wanna stay, but should I go? What would be best for us both? Inch by inch I get closer, losing faith, is this over? Can we get carried away for the sake of love, for the sake of us? Yes, I reached out my mind, I packed my bags, my heart was so tight. Inch by inch I get closer, losing faith, is this over? Can we get carried away for the sake of love, for the sake of us?
Well, that was awesome, Cass. I really enjoyed that. I'm sure everybody out there has as well. I was just wondering too, what do you do for fun when you're not recording music? I know it can be writing and stuff. When you have a hobby like that, it can be very time consuming. What do you do when you're away from that?
Well, I do a lot of things. I stretch myself a bit thin. I like to keep myself busy. Mostly I spend time with my family and my son, and then I do other things like I draw. I'm an artist, and with the art, as you mentioned, and my portrait work, I draw as a hobby. It's also a business, but I love to do it.
Yes, I was mentioning that at the onset of the show. It's Dark Girl Drawings. Please do check it out, people. I think you'll like what you see. Do you find that you've fallen victim to trends over the years?
It's funny that you mentioned that. I've always been told that as many people probably have been, that they fall into a category of style and trends and being labeled and stuff. I've never really seen myself following a label, but now looking back, I think in my young teen years, I was quite categorized as like a gothic emo style.
Well, that's interesting. So back in those years, that's probably when you bought your first LP, CD, whatever the album, whatever you want to call it these days, people. What do you remember what that was?
Yes, actually, the first album that I bought was, I bought it with some birthday money. I was about 13 years old, and it was an Aaron Carter CD.
Yay.
Yes, I'm not so proud of that one, but I mean, I don't know. All I remember about it is that I used to dance to it, and that's all I want to remember about it. I mean, Aaron Carter was a great musician for his age at the time, but now it's just one of those guilty pleasures you don't really want to talk about.
I hear you. I have those secret ones myself, but that's a story for another day. Well, what kind of guitar you play?
I actually have two guitars. I occasionally play a Yamaha acoustic, and I really like it. It's got a deeper, somber tone to it, but I more frequently play my electric acoustic Ibanez. It's my baby. I love it to death.
Right on. Is there a particular guitar out there that you had your eye on over the years, or that you say one of these days, sort of like in the Wayne's World, yes, one day shall be mine kind of thing?
One of my favorite movies, actually. Yes, actually, there's basically any Martin guitar, any Martin acoustic. I love all Martin acoustics, and some of them are just so fancily gorgeous, and they always sound wonderful. I would love to have one day. Beautiful.
Well, you know what we should do now is we should take a quick pause and have a message from our sponsors. So we'll be right back with Cassandra Grable. Once again, you're back in the lounge with, that guy in the hat. I wish you'd stop introducing me like that. It's getting really irritating. You know what? Get used to calling bingo balls. Don't look at me like that. Okay. Hi, guys. We're back with Cassandra. Now, why don't we take the time now to hear another track from Cassandra. Cassandra, what track will we be hearing this time? That's my radio voice. Hey, welcome. Yeah. Hey, you sound strangely like the announcer. No, that's a different guy altogether. Okay, never mind.
Very fancy announcer voice you have there, sir.
I'm giving away all my trade secrets. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. But,
yes, the next track that I would love for you all to hear, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy playing it, is an original song I like to call My Life.
All right. Well, let's listen to it right now. Here's My Life by Cassandra Grable.
Months ago, I fell for you. Didn't want you to know I had a thing to do. 6 months go by, keeping it inside. And I just came out. It didn't have a clue. I'm not trying to play with your heart, but you know I can't leave. Love across oceans so far, but I know this can't be, 'cause you made my life. Now I'll wait for you to talk. You might not say a thing. You might just walk away. You take my mind where I've never been. We go inside from deep within. I'm not trying to play with your heart, but you know I can't leave. Love across oceans so far, I know this can't be, 'cause of me, my life. These are the choices I made. I live with them every day. You are the light in my life, but we just can't be. I'm not trying to play with your heart. Now you know I can't leave. Love across oceans so far, I know this can't be. I'm not trying to play with your heart. Now you know I can't leave. Love across oceans so far, I know this can't be, 'cause of me, my life, my life, my life.
Well, right on. I'm glad you're here to share this music, and I hope you guys out there are all appreciating this, because we're going through a lot of effort here for you today. Yeah, sure. Give the audience crap, see if they come back. Oh well, you gotta poke people every so often. It keeps them alive. That's what I had an uncle. Well, I still have that uncle. Actually, I didn't have him at one time. He's still my uncle. But yeah, he used to do that to my grandmother's cat. When the cat was really old, he'd poke it all the time. He says the cat likes it. It keeps him alive. I say he does not like it. But are you a cat or a dog person yourself?
I'm a huge animal lover, but I always find myself cuddling more with some kitties.
We've got like a whole zoo here. I've got like 2 dogs, 2 cats. We had a rabbit and a fish at one time too, but you know, this rabbit was eating all the furniture, so went to live with some old lady. But, so you know, that's how we do it. So I told my son, no eating the furniture. We have to give you away.
Aww.
That
Yeah,
I did not tell my poor kid that. Okay, you people are terrible. You people are terrible. Why do you even listen to me, guys? You guys are so gullible. I don't know. Now, when you're writing, is there a particular subject matter that you gravitate to? You know, like you write the love songs, you write about personal experience, you write about things going on in the world around you, or is this sort of a mixed bag? Depending on what hits your fancy on that particular day.
Some of my better songs lyrically have just been written so on the spot that I feel that they're really motivated by whatever I'm emotionally moved at the time, whether it be something going on in my life or something going on in the world around me, and sometimes they're just influenced by things going on in someone else's life that I've witnessed that I can grasp the concept of it, and it's such a strong feeling that I wish that I'd never been through that, so I write about it.
Wow. Yeah, that's I find for myself it's very, very much the same thing. Sometimes what a person is going through in their personal life. I know with myself, I tend if the song gets too personal, I tend to try to hide association with myself to it. I don't know. It's like a protection mechanism. I don't know if other writers do that as well. Like I'm famous for like changing the sexes of who what's the word I'm looking for? The subject of the song, like he was like this, she was like that, blah blah blah. People are going, no, we have no idea what you're talking about. But
I've actually been known to do that myself sometimes. It gets a little too personal, and you're just like, I don't really want people to know this about me. Let's just make a story.
That's it, too, and stuff like that. Like as an artist, you're out there, you're putting it all on the line. That's what I found the first time that I I played music in front of an audience, it's so completely different. I had been a theater student, so I'd acted in front of people, but I was always, uh, when I was younger, quite shy about musical abilities. And some people out there are going, you still should be, but no, it's not very nice, you guys, whoever you are. But yeah, I found that when you're acting, you're a different person. You're going up there and you're losing yourself in the role. But when you're singing a song that you wrote, you're really laying your heart on the line. And sometimes the words you wrote them because you needed to express it, you needed to get it off your chest, you needed to go through that therapy. But you didn't really want, your mom to know. so,
Absolutely, exactly.
so you mix it up a little. You stir the pot and see what comes out. You use a few metaphors, and people have no idea what you're talking about, but you still got it all off your chest.
Yeah, it's kind of like I know a lot of people in my era where when you're young kids, for that same reason you don't want your parents reading stuff or your family reading stuff. It's similar to when you're a kid and you make up your own language to write things in so nobody knows.
Yeah, jeez, that brings back really warped memories. But okay,
Do tell.
oh, okay. Are there particular events, or maybe a single event in music history that you found really left an impression on you? For myself, it was the morning that I had found out that John Lennon had been assassinated, and people are going, "Oh, you're that old, really?" And I said, "Yeah, I remember. I was in like grade. What was I in? I was in grade 8. Yeah, something like, yeah, I was in grade 8 when John Lennon. That's a long time ago. But I know that that sort of really stands out in my head. It's something from a musical perspective. Do you have an event like that in your life, or like maybe it's a concert that you saw that really said, you know what, this is what I want to do, kind of thing. Do you have an event like that?
Well, growing up, for my younger years, I played in a band with my dad, like I had said, but I never really got that spark of motivation, and I never really even reached that spark of motivation from other artists and things. When I finally got that spark that made me really say, I need to do this, I need to go for what I really want to do, this is what I want to do, I need to start doing it, was when I was about 16 years old. My elder sister passed away, and I took it really hard, naturally, and it just really, all of that, with, the next few years afterwards, there was so much emotion coming out, and I just wrote, and I was always writing, and then I'm like, I need to put these writings to good use, and so, she would want me to go do what I dreamed that I want to do, go for your dreams, and she was very, very much that kind of person, so I was like, all right, I'm doing this for you.
I hear you. Now I understand that one of the tracks you've brought today is directly from that influence. Would you like to play that at this time?
Yes, absolutely. Before the song gets played, I'd like to, obviously, everybody, I'm sure you already get at this point that it's kind of like a little bit on the more mellow, sad side, but it's a very moving, emotional track, and it really expresses everything that I was feeling at that time, and I will forever play it. If I ever had a major live event at a huge arena like Madison Square Garden, that would definitely be on my set list. Everybody needs to hear this because it was a big event in my musical life.
Okay. Well, let's listen to the track now, and I understand the track's called Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Forever.
Something written, something selfish, something needed to say. My heart was bleeding, my heart was crying, my heart was stolen away. And as I sit here with all of these doubts, I let my mind get away. Still you saved me, you helped me get through. You're always special that way. Remember the things you told me. Remember how we sleep. Remember all the little things when you were here with me. Even though we fought like siblings often do, I'd gladly take your place forever, me instead of you. Things you wanted, dreams you had, they were stolen from you. And all your big plans, and now mine instead, it's the least I could do. Remember the things you told me. Remember how we sleep. Remember all the little things. You were here with me. Even though we fought like siblings often do, I'd gladly take your place forever, me instead of you. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Something's different today. And it's been so quiet, and it's been so still. I found you slipping away. Remember the things you told me. Remember how we sleep. Remember all the little things. You were here with me. Even though we fought like siblings often do, gladly take your place forever, me instead of you. Remember the things you told me. Remember how we sleep. Remember all the little things. You were here with me. Even though we fought like siblings often do, gladly take your place forever. Gladly take your place forever. Gladly take your place forever, me instead of you.
Well, Cass, thank you very much for sharing that with us. I can understand why you're so attached to the song and stuff like that. And yeah, when you have major events that give you that kind of influence, you know, sometimes it can be hard to revisit. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Well, thank you so very much for listening, and all of you out there who are listening to this right now. I know that it's a miserable song, and people are like, oh, sad, sappy music, but to me, when writing it, it was really, it was kind of, it was difficult for me to write. It was actually kind of interesting. A friend of mine had given me the first intro concept to that song, and he's like, this sounds sad, and I'm like, no, I'm going to write this and make it something happy, and it wasn't. It was something sad, so he was right, and it just worked perfect for this song, and then once I got about halfway through, I'm like holding back tears while writing it, and the original writing process of that, and there was just so much emotion, and now every time I revisit and hear that song, like just hearing it now, I'm not sure if it's that I get sad or if I get motivated or happy. It's just I I like to, I always like to think of her now and then. So, playing that is my way of thinking and saying, hey, I haven't forgotten you.
Thanks, Cassandra. We'll be right back. Hi, folks. You're in the lounge, and we're talking with Cassandra Grable. Your musical tastes have changed a lot over the years?
Absolutely. I mean, they have a core, like a core signature, I think, that kind of sticks with them, that gives me that sort of popish kind of genre feel. And, some people don't like, it's a little too happy or too pop singer mainstream style lyrics. I don't know, but I think that it's changed quite a bit from being, I used to sing and write a lot of stuff that was a lot softer, and I'm slowly getting heavier as my years go by, and I'm looking to get even heavier and heavier as I keep progressing.
Well, one thing I find for myself is I found that when I first got into music, and even like listening to music on the radio and stuff like that, I had a sort of a very narrow focus as to what I liked, and that's one thing. And I think maybe it comes from like playing myself and stuff too, is that over the years your musical taste expands. I find going from I was very much the classic rock listened to as a kid, and I think that comes from that's what I heard around the house. It was mom and dad's albums. The songs I heard on the radio in the car were my dad's radio stations and stuff like that. And so that's where all my first real musical tastes derived from. I wasn't in that way. I definitely wasn't a rebellious kid. I just went with the flow with all that, and that really became a focus on that style of music, probably right through high school and stuff like that. And I found now, I love listening to jazz and the blues and classical. Yeah, there's not too many genres of music that I don't like. But actually, here, we'll continue this in a moment. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about the music that we're listening to. Welcome back. You're in the lounge, and I'm in the lounge, and so is Cassandra Grable.
Oh, well, yes I am. What do you know?
Now, they say that the people keeping the CD world alive are people over 40, and that everybody else is loading theirs to MP3 players, and they're downloading from iTunes and stuff. Do you find that you lean towards one, or are you a little bit of both?
I know that I love the technical benefits of having the electronics, but no matter what, until the day I can't buy a CD, I love to buy CDs, because even though I love an MP3 player or having it on my phone, I always love to have that CD in my hand, or that record in my hand, physically.
Well, yeah, I couldn't agree more, and that was one of the things, like when they switched over from LPs to CDs. Of course, the sound quality, was completely upgraded, but I really missed that big piece of artwork. I missed getting posters inside. I missed the lyric sheets. Well, mind you, some of the CDs now come with lyric sheets, but you need a magnifying glass to be able to read them. And well, at least I do, because I'm legally blind. But what are you gonna do?
Oh, no.
Okay. So if you had 3 CDs in your car, or on your, maybe loaded to your MP3 player that you listen to when you're out and about, what 3 come to mind right off the top, right now, that are in your car or on your MP3 player?
Well, I don't actually have a car, but what I do find myself most listening to in an MP3 player, sometimes the songs that I really like listening to, I'll play I'll just play them with my guitar. I'm really obsessed lately with I'm I'm really loving this new band that I found from Denmark. They're called Forever Still.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're kind of like the hard rock female fronted band, because I've always been a huge fan of Evanescence. That was that's another huge vocal inspiration of mine.
Yes, excellent vocalist.
Yes, one of my favorites. I see definitely the most music I listen to would be Evanescence and Forever Still as of recently, and a lot of like the Beatles and
Yes.
John Lennon. Definitely John Lennon.
In fact, in my car right now, I do have a copy of the Beatles' Please Please Me.
Oh.
Let me think, what else do I got in my car right now? I don't want to name the same ones I named last week, because that would be cheating. So let me think here, without leaving too much dead air while I think.
I'm wondering that. I'm thinking that it's like, does he still have the same CDs in his car, or is he just
Well, you know what? The CDs that I have in my car are probably been there for like months, but but I have at least like 15 of them. I have Blackie and the Rodeo Kings, King and Queens.
Oh.
That's and they have what they've done is on the album they've have a lady who is a country western singer guest vocal, a different girl on each track. So it's a really interesting listen, a little bit different than the last album of theirs I bought. So that's kind of good. And let's see what else. I mentioned last week I had Lou Reed in the car, but so I'm not going to talk about that. And I mentioned Dylan, and see, I'm going through the inventory in my head. What a waste! I have the greatest hits of the Smashing Pumpkins in my car right now.
Oh, that's a really good one.
And that's so. Now that I've killed a lot of airtime going, what the heck do I have in my car? Why don't we take the time now to listen to another track from Cassandra? What do you have up for us now?
I think that I really would like everybody to take some time to listen to Take Me Away. The song Take Me Away was actually kind of a crazy song for me to be writing, and when after we listen to this track, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But Take Me Away is featuring Swatch, also known as Steve Watchhorn. So I hope you enjoy it, and here's my song Take Me Away.
I remember when I was young, everything was easy, everything was fun. I'm old now and I've got a responsibility. I cry and I scream. Don't have a license or a car, just this pipe's got me this far. Wasting time and my life away, at least that's what it seems. Take me away to a different place, to somewhere far and new. I need a way to get an escape, everything that I must do. Do you remember us? We were young and full of trust. You broke my heart and I had to get away. Now I find myself back home. Nothing ever seems to change. Switched around and rearranged. Now I'm back at the beginning. I wish I could just find the end. Take me away to a different place, to somewhere far and new. Found that I've just killed a man. Took his life, but it's only fair, I think. He took what's left of my love. Take me away to a different place, to somewhere far and new. I need a way to get an escape. Everything I must do, everything I did, away from you.
All right, right on. So you want to tell us a little bit more about the track, you said?
Oh yes, it was one of the really crazy ones that I wrote, and it doesn't sound very crazy, but when I get into explaining the actual motivation, it's kind of, people are like, what, really? Take Me Away was written in 10 minutes.
I like those ones. Sometimes those are the best. You can just knock it off, then you know you're inspired.
Yeah, definitely. I was sitting in my living room, which at the time was also my kitchen. I lived in an efficiency, and I just started writing this crazy song about a girl who was vengeful and really kind of messed up in the head. And then, she kind of somebody broke her heart, and then she ends up murdering the guy and saying, oh, that's fair. He broke my heart. I'm gonna kill him. And then she ends up basically, the chorus says, take me away to a different place, and basically that's her being taken away to a mental institution.
So it's a love song.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, right on. Now, here's an interesting thought. Now, if you could be in any other musical era, like, you don't have to stay contemporary, like during the rock era or anything like that. If you could be from any other era and be plying your trade right now, well, what era do you think you'd like to be playing in, or would you find the most interesting?
I've never been asked that before, but I've thought about it, and I would have to say the 50s.
Really?
Yes, I love the female and male vocal abilities and style of the 50s. I don't know, it's one of my favorites. It's like a guilty pleasure. I love it, and it just, even the fashion of that era, it's something that I adore. And most people don't really know that. It doesn't really reflect in anything that I do, I don't think. But like songs like I don't know exactly what year it came out, but one of my favorite songs, I think it might have came out in the 50s, was it's called Dream a Little Dream. I can't remember who it's by.
Oh, Dream.
I think it's
I know, because I remember when the Mamas and Papas covered it. I can't remember the original artist, though. I'm gonna have to Google that later.
Me neither, but the original was so wonderful. I love that old style.
Yeah.
Of the pieces and
I've always like I said, I know I have somewhere. I think on LP too, the Cass Elliot doing it with the Mamas and Papas and stuff like that. And I always loved it. It almost had a vaudeville sound to it.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And just the way it sort of rolled out and stuff like that. Well, we're just about out of time today. Our guest has been independent artist Cassandra Grable. And I just like to leave you with a little closing thought before we wind up the show. If you want people, you hear this a lot, say, I want people to love me. I want someone who's going to love me for me. Well, you know how you do that? I'll let you in on a little secret. You got to be yourself. Don't put up false pretenses. Don't put up false airs. Get someone to like you by, building this facade that you can't live up to 100% of the time. Because, down the road, this ain't going to work out. Maybe it does. But you know what? I think the odds are against you. So, you want people to love you for who you are? Be yourself. So I'd like to take the opportunity right now to thank Cassandra, for joining us today in the lounge.
You are very, very welcome. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Well, it's been a complete joy having you, and I hope you'll come back and join us again some other time. And till that time, thank you very much. And now a word from our sponsors. Do you like the way I said that? From our sponsors. Very official-like. I'm getting good at this.
Just another song, just some words on paper, just another time. Wonder if you listen to the words I write. Did they come out right? Did you even hear what I'm saying? Take away the pain and stress of life. Just remember to smile. You're much loved, much more than you realize. Share a hug once in a while, once in a while. Time takes its toll. Just remember to hold tight. It will pass, I know. Just wait this time, 'cause you never know what tomorrow brings, and you don't wanna miss out on these pretty things. Take away the pain and the stress of life. Remember to smile. Love much more than you even realize. Share a hug once in a while, once in a while. You're having trouble getting through life. Just listen to this song. Know there's still so much you can do, yeah. Maybe you could cover this song, 'cause you never know what tomorrow brings, and you don't wanna miss out on these pretty things. All these pretty things, all these pretty things, or anything once in a while.